Guys, welcome back. Today I recently purchased a Flicky cartridge off eBay, and it arrived dead. The seller said he tested it, and I was like, well, I'll trust that he tested it. I told him I like messing around trying to fix cartridges, so I said I'd look up some stuff. He offered me a return, but I said I'll look up some information and see if I can figure out what's wrong with it first. So I did, and I found some information that said if you add a 1K resistor into the right pins on a cartridge, once you test it, that it can fix dead cartridges. So I asked the guy, I was like, hey, instead of me sending this back, if you'd give me a couple dollars refund, I'll use it to buy some resistors. I'll install it on there and see if it works. So, I had already cleaned it and everything, so I was like, okay, the next step is to start doing the testing, where you pretty much have to use the ground and then test each one of the connectors on the chip, the mask ROM. And the grounds are on the outsides, and you can also see there's a couple that are on the pins in the center after, but you can use them to test it across this way, or you can use one of the grounds in the center, and it's easy to trace those from the outside pins. It's a big, area that runs to the grounds, and then you just run across each one of these pins, and they should be in the 650 range, somewhere around there. So once you go across and you discover one that's got the open line or OL, you've got the right pin. And once you've discovered the right pin, it's just a matter of soldering that resistor in between. So, it might be easier if you mark it with a little marker or something. I mean, this is the one right here. When I flip over the board, I can see which one, and I marked it red on the actual chip, but you can do that on the actual pin too if you have a little colored marker or something. So I moved over to my kitchen stove, which is a great place for me to solder because that top is, can't really damage it. Next thing is just add a little flux on the two pins that you're going to solder the resistor in between. And then here are the 1K ohm resistors that I got off of Amazon for $4. It was a 40 pack for $4. These aren't the one plus or minus 1. They are the plus or minus 5. And those are good enough. They're a little bit cheaper, and I got 40, so heck, if I got 40 games at break, I'll probably be able to fix them. So I saw a guy do it better than I'm doing here. I was just wanting to test it, so I didn't really do a clean job on this first time. I was just going to solder each one of the leads onto the pins. But I saw a gentleman online after I did this that put tape over the resistor, set it right in the center, and then bent the leads over to the pins that they should go to. And that's the way you want to do it. That's the way I clean it up after this. But me, I just soldered on one, bent it around, brought the next lead to the next pin. It's not very pretty, but I was more anxious to do a quick job and test to see if this worked than do a clean job. But again, using the tape, the resistor on to the board in between the solder points, and then just bend those leads to it, you can then solder them on and then just snip off the extra at the end, which worked really well. So that's all you got to do. You just get the solder points to hold those leads on the resistor into place, and all that's left to do after that is to test that it's working properly before you test out the cartridge. So now we're back on the multimeter, and you can see that these other ones are in the 650 range, and this one now tests at 620, which is close enough. It's giving enough resistance now. You could use less of a resistor and it would still work, but if you go this high, you're at least back in the range where it's supposed to be, and less chance of having the ROM get damaged by excessive power going to it. So now all that's left is to button this up and pop it in the game system and see if it'll start up now. And there we go. We got a working cartridge again. All that's really left is for me to clean it up and do it the right way. But there you go. 5-minute fix for a dead Genesis cartridge.